Well, good evening, fellow explorers. Mr. Dingle, how are you, sir?
Good, good. How are you, Johnny? Good to be on with you, brother.
Same here, my friend. Same here. Looking forward to it. A lot of people have already been asking questions. The chat's already kicking with the questions.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Yeah. Hello, Kimberly, and whoever else is watching now. Thanks for
Yes,
showing
yes.
up. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. And I've been pushing it on my Telegram, so hopefully we have some people from our Telegram page come over uh exploring the Matrix over there.
Hopefully, hello, Kyle. Let's see what does Kyle
Yes,
say. Good evening, great souls and
Kimberly, hey
brave
Kyle.
patriots. Yes, sir.
Yes. Kyle's the man. Kyle's been sticking with us, huh?
Deb's in the house too. How you doing, Deb?
Deb, how are you? Deb's been sticking with us as well. Yeah.
So we got some
Nice.
regulars going on here. Got
Yeah, that's
Kim,
good to
Deb, and
see.
Kyle.
Yes, yes.
Well, as y'all can see from the title, we're going to be talking a little bit about good old Project Bluebeam. And
Hmm.
Project Bluebeam is something that's been around for a while, at least the concept of it. And if I thought things were going to go a little differently with our world than they are, I would say Project Bluebeam would be in play pretty hard here in the near future.
Yes,
But
I agree.
I think that because of certain controls that are in place around the world, I think Project Bluebeam is going to be a nothing burger. But I still think it's worth talking about because there are a lot of people that still don't really have access to. I don't want to say the news or anything like that, but as we know, there's different cultures around the world that seem to be more affected by certain things than others. Like, you know, TV is always portrayed like the Aborigines and stuff like that in the Amazon and
Hmm.
in Australia and other cultures around the world. When things happen, even look at Italy when you've got crying statues and that kind of stuff. So, and people are
Right.
really affected by what they see and what they hear. And sometimes they just go with it and they don't question it.
Hmm.
And that's the whole idea behind Project Bluebeam. Joe, do you know? Why don't you tell the people a little bit about what you're, from your perspective anyway, about biblically speaking about Project Bluebeam?
Yeah. Well, it's been around for a long time. And look, I would even say going back to thousands of years. I mean, the whole concept and principle of it. And from what we're hearing and what most people see, ultimately is about a whole new world order. It's about control. Ultimately. And of course, I believe a lot of Project Bluebeam was kind of mixed in with the Bible. Because we all know that the 66 books that we have right now is not the full whole Bible. We know that there were things taken out. Constantine, of course, he had things taken out and things kind of switched up a little bit. But I think the whole concept of which I understand it to be is has to do with the New World Order and just a matter of control by the devil, of course, wanting to control people because, see, God wants to give us our sovereignty. He wants us, he gave us, in the beginning, he gave us the earth. He gave us dominion. He told his children to have dominion, not the children of the devil, all right, not the demons and all that stuff. But it's as a whole, Project Bluebeam is pretty much about New World Order. It's about control, and we're seeing that now, where the devil is trying to do that now, but he's lost, so he can't.
That's right.
He can't. But although he is deceiving a lot of people, that's the only power he has is to try to deceive you, and that's the biggest weapon that Project Bluebeam uses is deception. Holograms and false things, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
look at how easily people believe the mainstream media. So
Yeah.
seeing some of this other stuff is going to put them over the edge. It's just going to be like, and the whole idea, I think Project Bluebeam started out as one thing a long time ago, like you said, but it's evolved into, like you said, control, and to get people to the point of believing that they have no other choice but to believe this new entity, whatever shows up. Some people say they're going to make Jesus show up. Some people say they're going to make aliens show up. Some people, like an alien invasion kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that if you don't follow this particular new world order, as you're stating there, that things are going to get rough. So it's basically like, well, here, I'll just read. I found this from Matt Cole years ago. Where he was kind of like the authority on Project Bluebeam. He seemed to always be writing about it. So I'm going to read this real quick.
Okay.
It says, by definition, Project Bluebeam is 4 steps presented by NASA. The 4 stages are as follows: engineered earthquakes to produce archaeological findings. And that ties in with what you're talking about. And look at, especially the last couple of years, all the earthquakes that are happening around the world. And not just, because you've got Gene Decode and others, saying that they're blowing up the DUMBs, the deep underground military bases and stuff like that. But who knows? These other earthquakes could be engineered by high energy weapons, to facilitate the quote unquote finding of certain artifacts, things that have been hidden for a while, which kind of lays the groundwork to open up to the next step, which is holographic images in the clouds. And Bo, I've got some videos of that. So telepathic communication, think like how fast and how hard they're trying to push 5G and stuff like that. And there was a technology, and I can't remember the name of it, but it's been around for a long time, that supposedly if you hit a certain frequency, you could actually push thoughts and push images into people's brains, into their heads, because of the way it resonates inside their skull.
Oh, really?
And yes. So think telepathic communication, meaning not real telepathic communication, but from whatever these towers and stuff like that they would be sending these signals from, or even satellites for that matter.
Right.
Electronic provision of supernatural manifestations. And that's the part that gets a little tricky, because depending on who's in charge and who's running the show, you could have the Pope pushing Jesus, you could have images of Jesus in the cloud, or an angelic host or something like that in the clouds, or whatever you want. You've got
whatever you want.
Technology to put whatever you think the masses will be affected by the most. That's what you're going to use.
Right.
So the engineered earthquakes to produce archaeological findings. Let's see. Biblically, we are informed there will be many earthquakes in diverse places. It says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven. Luke 21:11. I'm not going to read all this stuff down here, but it talks about how the mainstream's always pushing some kind of narrative about a climate crisis, or something, but apparently the earth was slowing down. That was another one they were pushing, that the earth's rotation was slowing down, so it was causing all these extra earthquakes and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
And they were blaming it on fracking and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It says the first stage in the Project Bluebeam is to unearth archaeological findings. These findings will uncover a false truth to diminish or reduce all religions into one world religion. Meaning, like, whatever, if you're Muslim or Christian or whatever, Buddhist, somehow these archaeological findings would kind of point to, like, okay, well, you guys are a little outdated. This has been around a lot longer. So this is the one real religion, and this is who you got to follow, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
The findings will point to the hidden truth for the sake of removing Christianity and merging all religions into one world religion. Currently, archaeology is proving the validity of Christianity, which we all kind of know that.
Right.
However, there will be a change to invalidate it, thereby using earthquakes. The first step will will use to be uncovering a story to push the one world religion. Let's see. Next phase is holographic images in the clouds. And think about this. We just found out in the past few months that all the Starlink satellites are in orbit now. It's like there's there's at least 17 of them.
Yeah.
And in addition to all the other space junk and satellites and crap that are up there already. And think about all the stuff that you could do if these satellites were tasked to project images or sounds or, broadcast things at a certain frequency to make you think you're seeing things. Well, hey, Anna. Hello. How are you?
Hey, Anna. Good to have you on. And look, John, notice you said there's 17.
Yes. I laughed because when Elon Musk said that the 17th one had been put into orbit, I kind of laughed at that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Yeah, white hats aren't in control.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever you say. Yeah.
And then the holographic image, you see this, the point is the second step will provide a holographic moving image to either portray a message or false attacks on the world. And look how vulnerable the world is right now. Look how vulnerable people are and what kind of mental state they're in right now. I mean, if I thought this was going sideways, this would be the perfect time for them to try to implement something like this.
That's so true.
And it says, on a personal level, I believe it will be in conjunction with a so-called alien visitation. And what have we seen them last year? They're pushing
aliens.
Yep, they're pushing disclosure, and they're pushing. Look at all the movies that have been out over the last 10 years or so. I mean, they've laid the groundwork big time for so people, I guess that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was going to say it's amazing how they're kind of training the masses' minds to be able to be open to certain things that they're going to implement, and use for trickery and use for manipulation. So that's part of what MSM does.
Yeah, they're putting it out there. I mean, they're always putting it out there. So it's ready and locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Let's see. We already see this occurring through the ghost chaser type documentary shows. The use of EMF meters, ghost hunting kits, and other technological devices for the purpose of listening or viewing intradimensional entities. Now, if you've ever seen Ghost Hunters, love that show, man, especially the first 3 seasons. You don't have to believe in ghosts or not, but it's a fun show to watch, Yeah,
it's interesting the technology that they use to actually, find these ghosts and stuff, and it's pretty interesting.
I love the EMF meters, and like when they put the little recording devices and they lay them on the table or whatever, and they start talking, and then doesn't seem like anything happens, and they go review the tapes and stuff later, and it's like, get the heck out of here, or whatever other kind of stuff they get recorded on there, we're coming for you. Kind of creepy stuff. Yep. I wholeheartedly believe with this next statement, this 4th stage provides the means for interdimensional beings to easily communicate, interact with those on Earth. I suspect CERN, and I've brought CERN up in the past, will also play a role in this. David Patch, I'm not going to go into that, but CERN has had, ever since its creation, has always had some kind of air of mystery and whatever surrounding it. I think Joe and I did a show, I think it was on demons.
Yes.
Where CERN came up with satanic sacrifices and that kind of stuff to be able to open portals to other dimensions. So this perfectly ties in with that. Let's say that they say that happened, like, hey, we were able to open a portal to blah, blah, blah dimension. And now we're communicating with these interdimensional beings, and they want us to submit to this new world order. Or else they're going to invade and blah, blah, blah. And, so,
crazy.
And he puts in conclusion, Project Bluebeam is not a specific objective. rather a four-step process toward the objective. The objective is to utilize the technology, soon to be released archaeology information in order to pull humankind toward a one world government or a religion. Those not desiring to be part of it will ultimately be removed. The Bible refers to a strong delusion coming. This delusion will be so intense, many will believe. And it is, and for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion that they shall believe or should believe a lie. 2 Thessalonians 2:1. We see through media the push of alien visitation is coming. I suspect this is part of the delusion. Holographic imagery in the skies, revealing ancient technology, blah, blah, blah. So you guys kind of get the idea of where they're going. And think about this. Recently, I want to say it was last month, some scientist or a group of scientists. Hey, Donnie, good to see you.
Donnie. Good to
a
have
group
you
of
on.
scientists or a scientist, I don't remember which, put out in the mainstream media that we shouldn't attempt to contact aliens or any alien civilization because they're probably going to be mean or they're going to try and kill us or whatever. They're going to try to dominate or take over the world or, whatever the case is.
Right.
So they're constantly putting stuff out there just in case. So all their bases are covered. And that's where the biblical or having a good relationship with God comes in handy, because if you're focusing on Jesus and you're not focusing on the noise that's going on around you, you'll have that discernment you need to know that, hey, this is a little too convenient, or this is BS, or whatever the case is.
Right.
And my fear is that they do try to do this, and they do, instead of using something unknown, that they do try to use Jesus.
Yeah.
Because
I think they will.
Because that would, I think that would trick a lot of people. I mean, you'd have a mass division among people. You'd have, like what we're in now, you'd have people divided by household or whatever, saying, hey, you saw it on TV, you saw Jesus, that was him,
Right.
Hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but
yeah,
got some cool videos. I mean, some of them are pretty recent, some of them are kind of old, but this holographic technology is really advanced. I mean, even the stuff that you can see in the public eye is really advanced. So imagine what the technology is they really have to do.
Yeah.
And the ability to control weather and earthquakes and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say about that. The weather stuff is very interesting. It's, I mean, even when you look at it from a weekly basis, I mean, I know, like here in New Jersey, and my wife brought this up, and which I didn't notice too much before, but now I'm starting to notice that it seems like almost every Thursday or Friday, those two are always kind of like the rain days, the majority of the time. It's like, why is it always raining like on Thursday most of the time? It's just weird stuff like that, So I was like, now that I see this, it's like, this kind of makes sense with the whole weather warfare,
Well, around here in like the Cleveland, Ohio area, it always seems to be the weekend. If something's going to, if you got something planned for the weekend, I guarantee if it's going to rain, it's going to be Friday and Saturday.
Oh,
it always seems to be those 2 days. It goes all week and it's nice. You can cut the grass, you can do whatever. And then Friday rolls around. It's like, man, that happened to us a couple of weeks ago. We were going to have, some family over and have a picnic and stuff. And it was like, meh.
Yeah, it's going to rain.
Not so
it's
much.
Raining.
Yeah. And if you notice that a lot of these sightings that I'm going to show you happen in areas that are either in populations that have a strong propensity to believe things like this. Like, and again, I'm not going to put any or try to pigeonhole any culture into a corner or whatever, but it just seems to be, it's always these areas. Like the Dominican Republic, there's China is in here a lot. Jamaica. It's always seems to be like in South America, in these areas where people have, and it's nothing against them. They have very strong beliefs and very strong, God, what's the word I want to use? I'll think of it probably when I'm sleeping tonight. But China lately, and I think that's not by accident. China lately has had a lot of these types of sightings, like the background image of this video, that floating city right there. I mean, there's been several instances in recent memory where floating cities appeared over here. I'll just show you the image. That's the background image of this video.
Wow.
But this is part of a video that keeps popping up, and it's a different city every time. And it's not a reflection of any city that's known, and it's not a reflection of the city of where it's over, because a lot of these happen in rural areas where there's no buildings like this.
Right.
But I think this is trying to lay the groundwork of other beings, other cities, other cultures, other whatever you want to call them. And so this video, where is it here? This is a very recent video.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I think this showed up on your Telegram channel last week too. But just, it starts with stuff like this, just weird things in the sky that people can't explain.
Yeah.
And then as it moves along, the images get a little more sophisticated. Well, here, I'll back up a little bit. Talking about the holographic technology that's available right now, like the Dubai, I think it's Dubai, the zoo, and there's a mall in the Middle East that uses holographic technology. Like, this bowl is unbelievable. I don't have the high definition version of it, but this is a completely high holographic bowl.
Oh, wow.
In this mall. Watch what happens. I mean, that's just in a mall.
What
it's
in
not
the
even,
world?
And you look at the where's the zoo here? Oh, here's the zoo. It's called the Virtual 7D Zoo Show in Dubai. Like, these people are interacting with these holograms. Music's kind of annoying, but
well, look, we've seen this stuff in movies.
Yeah, they can make clouds appear. I mean, whatever, And again, this is in a mall and in a zoo.
Right. Wow. Well, I wonder what the people are actually seeing from their end.
I don't know, but from my understanding, this is exactly, because you can see them try to interact with some of the stuff. Like, they try to reach out. Yeah, see, they're like putting their hands out to the penguins there.
Yeah, that is true.
This is my favorite, the whale coming out of the floor here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Don't know why, just love that. But you guys get the idea. It's like 4 minutes long. I can play the whole thing. But imagine if they can do that in a public setting.
Right.
What they could do with the technology that they actually have. This is, speaking of whales, here's another one. I can't remember what city this is in, but this is outside.
What? Yeah, see.
Can you imagine seeing that and not knowing what you were like? You're just driving down the road and like.
But that's proof of, because we were talking, I know, with Delora. She brought up about how what is it? The concept of there being some type of big, I guess, layer over Earth or whatever, or technology where it can project anything, the clouds and all that stuff
like the
from
Truman
above.
Show.
Yeah, exactly, like the Truman Show.
Yeah.
You know, and
for those of you that aren't flat earthers, like I said, I'm on the fence about that, but my mind's wide open.
yeah.
I do believe there's enough written evidence to suggest that we live in a realm. I'll just call it a realm. It doesn't have to be a flat area. It could be round or oblong or whatever.
Right.
There's enough evidence to suggest that it's a self-contained environment of it was created to be that way.
Right.
Take that for what you will.
Yeah. That makes you scratch your head like, what?
And they also have the ability to, this ties in with like current political things, to basically have a person in one part of the world appear like they're in another part of the world, as long as they have technology at both ends. Let's see, where did it go here? I think it's this here.
Technology reaching new dimensions this morning. A hologram company is in town showcasing its holoportation machine. It's called Portal. Uses a small studio setup to beam your image anywhere in the world. It's so crazy. Hector Mejia live with more on this and a
mask off your
demonstration. Hey,
face.
Hector, good morning.
No, come on.
Yeah, hey there, Alex. Good morning. Earlier, we showed you that setup.
You can't hold your shine.
So personal with the machine. This is the Portal machine, and you see there's nothing in it right now, but in just a second.
See, that's the box I was talking about. Like, so you could hide that box, and you could actually make that box bigger so it doesn't look like it's a box. It could be a room, like a small room setting. But I guess when people interact with it, it looks pretty darn real.
And CEO David Nussbaum is about to appear as he steps into the setup to talk. Oh, there he is to talk to us. Well, hello there. Hello,
Hector. Good seeing you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for talking to us. Which planet are you coming to us from?
Well, this is the planet Mars.
This is boring, so we'll skip ahead here. I thought I had the whole thing.
Happened through the power.
I've got another video
Sounds
somewhere,
exciting.
but the idea is, like I said, you're in one location, but you're presenting like you're in another location, and nobody knows that you're actually in the other location.
Look, it reminds me of the Avengers. Remember when they were talking to the Congress or whatever, the world leaders, and they were looking at the hologram while the world leaders or whatever were sitting at their desks and stuff. And they were like, walking around them and stuff. Don Cheadle and they was walking around them and stuff. Same technology, man. They've been showing us this stuff.
Yep. And I think this is the city over China.
So I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend, but
that voice is kind of. Yeah, here's the. Oops. I mean, because it was all over the news.
Really?
In China and stuff like that. So you can see how it looks like it's a city up there in the clouds.
Yeah.
And this is being videotaped like on a phone.
That's crazy.
And the buildings, from what I understand from the image, the buildings kind of look old, like ancient kind of.
Yeah, they do. Wow.
And this is what I was talking about, like where they try to explain it away as a weather phenomena. Yeah, you've got a skyline that's a weather phenomenon out in the rural area.
Right.
Wow. But there's other, and like I said, it hits these. Like this is Diwali Village. This is another area. It always is. I don't want to say underdeveloped, but kind of third world country-y kind of feeling places.
Right.
Because they're more susceptible to this manipulation, I guess.
I would say because they can't do that over America. And look,
they pull out the AKs and everything else and the AR.
Yep.
Yeah,
you get bullets going through those cities.
Yeah. And then I think this was in the Middle East somewhere, and this was like somebody caught this on video. There was no actual damage to any of the buildings, but there was a visual display of stuff that looked like it was burning.
But no houses or anything else is burning. There is.
No, like it'll when it's done, there'll be no smoke or anything. It's all like a holographic image. Yeah, I think I've always liked this one here too. I'm going to preface this with saying that there's a few of these videos out there where there's a lot of people screaming, and that's kind of annoying because I think it almost makes me think that it's staged when people are screaming. But if you see up here at the top, looks like a flowing figure with lightning and everything else.
Yeah, like the return of Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a bunch like hands in the sky. There's the lightning again. See, even something as simple as that could really mess with somebody, you know?
Oh yeah.
And
give him a heart attack.
Yeah, there's been, let's just call them glitches in the matrix lately. And there's been a lot of people showing videos of jumbo jets like frozen in midair, like they're not moving.
It's just stuck in there.
Yeah. Like these people are driving along the road and they're just filming it. It literally is just sitting there.
That's crazy.
We're both now on two separate runways. You see that? Sounds brand new.
It's not
That's
moving.
weird.
We were way behind it. It's not moving.
That is so weird.
Yeah, he's got his landing gear and all down. He's taking
So,
Bratан, что за херня?
That's
so
crazy.
it ties in with the whole possibility of, you know, hologram and the whole being in a realm / you know, whatever, you know, the Truman Show kind of thing.
Right.
And,
Right.
There's it was in Jamaica. There was a gigantic thundercloud that appeared out of nowhere and literally stayed in the same spot and just had lightning in it all day. Like it changed to night and it didn't move. It was in this. Here's the daytime version of it.
Okay. Huh? Whoa. Never seen this before. Sure.
Oh, it's in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I know for I have.
Well, I never seen something like this yet.
And then this is the same night. You know, there's no other clouds around. It's just that one thunder cloud right there.
In my life. In my Discovery Channel, when me I watch all my life, you know. When me see this in my Discovery Channel, you know what you do that one? It's a spaceship and
something's up. That cloud has been going constantly. Been going for about 25 minutes now.
Spaceship.
Look at this, look at that. It's that blood cloud on there.
Yeah, reminds me of Independence Day or something.
Right, exactly.
In Jamaica, St. Margaret's Bay, Portland.
It is so unusual that all the residents are videoing this on their phones.
1 million views get 7,000 pounds.
It's constantly.
Wow, that's amazing.
Going. Where have you ever seen that before in your life? Where? Champions Bar.
Man.
Believe me, that's going on right now.
What do you think? Weather machine, hologram, what? I mean,
I don't know, but whatever it is, it's pretty darn sophisticated. I mean,
yes, very.
Half hour now.
Very.
Because to me,
Constant.
if it's convincing enough that the native population thinks it's out of the ordinary, then there's something going on there.
Yeah, very much.
This is an oldie but a goodie. Ignore the screaming.
Oh yeah, I remember this. This was all over Telegram too. That looks straight hologram there.
But could you imagine if they employed a hologram like that and they wanted just, instead of it being nice, they just threw out something like that and just, okay, we're just taking over, you know?
Right.
Go to your nearest whatever indoctrination center and wait for instructions.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This was pretty recent too. I think this was about a month ago.
I hope it's getting it on the camera. I can't even see the screen. Holy shit.
Wow, did the rainbow disappear?
What in the hell?
It's not a rainbow. It's a moving light, like it's going back and forth.
Oh man.
This is bizarre.
But it's little things like this, I think, that get people used to the idea that stuff is going on.
Yo, I don't know,
normal.
but everybody stopped to see the aliens. It says that's what everybody said, bro.
Right.
I don't know if that's true or not, but everybody blocked the highway. Say the aliens come to get us. I don't know.
I want to say that
The aliens are coming.
Jamaica's getting hit by weird weather and aliens.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's crazy. Wow.
This is in Cocoa Beach, Florida. This is that same thing, but a little longer version of it.
Check this shit.
This is weird. Like the color.
Yeah, I remember that. You know, I've seen something like that actually here in Jersey.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, in the clouds. I've seen something like that here in Jersey, man. And it was a little while ago, but I've seen it where it's like, you know, it has a rainbow colors and it's like these little weird shapes sticking up out of the clouds and stuff. It was crazy.
It
was crazy.
It is crazy. Like this came up recently too.
Inland Empire, California.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yep.
You know, just weird stuff. You know, like what is that?
Right. And then mainstream media gets the whiff of it. They put it out and they make up a story of what they think it really is, or what
Right.
You know, to try to cover up the real thing of what's going on. You know, it's just crazy. It's
like
crazy.
when they try to explain, when they make up a story in Men in Black after they zap people, you know, when
Right.
they try to make it was like gas off the swamp bouncing off Venus / whatever, you know. I've had this for a little while, but I don't know what this looked like to the crowd that was there, but this was very impressive when I saw this, that I had to include it. This was at a stadium somewhere in, I don't want to say Japan or something.
Oh wow. It's like a video game.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, well, you guys get the idea.
That's something.
The long story short is Project Bluebeam in any form is potentially a really dangerous to humanity type thing. And it was created with the intention of enslaving humanity and basically keeping people in line and not having all these religions, only having one religion. And it wasn't Christianity, it wasn't Buddhism. And, so it was supposed to tie in with everything that's kind of going on now with the whole, you bring down the economy, you keep pushing fear, you bring down people's immune systems, you basically push people to the brink where they submit. They mentally can't take it anymore, they physically can't take it anymore. Their job's gone, there's food shortages, there's whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I and I always say, I see the cabal being totally tied to religion, and I talk about it on Monday nights, when I do my 7:30 live stream, and I talk about the kingdom of God. And this is why, God never intended for us to be a part of a religion, because he says in the scriptures, he says pure religion is going to, visit those who are in prison, and feeding the orphan, taking in the orphans, visiting orphans, and doing, it's a part of doing things out of love, you know what I mean, and not out of manipulation. Religion that we see, with these different divisions and groups and all this stuff, a lot of it is controlling, and it's of a culture of the cabal. You know what I mean? You see how, and I would even say, which a lot of people may not like it or, may not believe it, or, what I'm saying, I would even say even in Christianity, because you even see in the past how the enemy used a religion called Christianity to do demonic things, and, I thank God for religion because it gave me a glimpse of God, but I always say, religion will never help you to have a relationship with God. And that's what God intended, to have a relationship with his children, and so we can't get so caught up in religion. We got to get more caught up in having that relationship with God so that we can grow. And if you read the scriptures, all Jesus talked about was this kingdom of God, this kingdom of heaven is like this. Heaven is a culture of God. That's all he preached and talked about, and even from the beginning, when God created us, or when God formed us, because we were formed, and the Bible never says that we were created, we were formed, but that's a whole different subject. Tune in at 7:30 on Monday nights. We'll talk about that,
There you go.
So, you see how religion has just, the enemy has used religion to manipulate the people and control the people,
Well, think about, since the Vatican was formed, how much control they had over the people of the world. Like when the Roman Catholic Church was founded, I mean, look at how many crusades and wars and everything were started because of, I'm not going to put Catholics on the spot here, but the Vatican was a weapon. The Vatican used religion against the people. They used religion as a tool to control and enslave people. I mean, look at how far of a reach they had, back, all the way to England back in, the early, we'll say 1300s and 1400s. People were so afraid of the church that, that even in your local community, your minister or your preacher, your bishop, your whatever, they were like basically God to that community. Like, you could not overrule that person, that whatever that person, like if that was a power hungry, whatever, maniacal, evil person, they would have total dominance over that community or over that area. And even now the Vatican says some, pardon my French, says some dumbass stuff. And it just shows that how much they still are in the manipulation game. That this isn't about God. This isn't religion. This isn't, God is love. Anything that tells you otherwise, like that makes you want to not love somebody or not love yourself or whatever, that is not God. So if people, and that'll be the easiest way to tell if something like this were to happen with Project Bluebeam. Is that if they're pushing division or they're pushing, non unity, it's not God.
Right. Exactly.
And you said it earlier. I mean, the devil's wily. That's his MO is schmooze and make people feel special. And it's just I can't believe that people still can't see that. I mean, I see it all the time, even on shows on TV at some of these churches. I still see it's so frustrating.
Well, I mean, that that's why the scripture says that the little g, the god of this world, has blinded the eyes of men. And apparently there's a lot of men and women who are still he still has blind, so it's hard for them to see. The only way that they could even get a glimpse is if they consider the truth rather than just being ignorant to the truth and ignoring the truth. And that's why the enemy wants to keep people ignorant.
Right.
Being ignorant is a part of being blind. He doesn't want you to know the truth. He doesn't want you to even get a glimpse of it. And people have been so caught up in the manipulation of the god of this world, which has a cabal. It's like people get so caught up in that, and it's like when they do see the truth, it's hard for them to like, wow, is this true? It's hard for them to really see, so that's why that's the fight that we have. It's like we're the we're the truth right here. We're the true journalists. We're the true people who are giving out the information, and we have to keep giving people the truth. So hopefully they'll consider what we say, and they'll consider what they are watching when we show these videos, which are just, I mean, it's so obvious. I mean, you're pulling up clips that are from news, from the news that everybody watches, so it's like, but there's people who are just still blinded,
there's so much potential for abuse and so much potential for pain and just, so if you guys get anything out of this, is just understand that a lot of these things that have been around for a while, like Project Bluebeam, Paperclip, any of these old, projects that started after World War II, where, a lot of these German scientists came and stayed in America. And, a lot of people think that the Nazi party is still here in America, and that's part of the problem. But a lot of these things that started even hundreds or thousands of years ago is losing steam right now. And the world seems crazy because the head of this beast is just about ready to fall off, and it's kicking and screaming, and it's doing everything it can to survive and to take out as many of us as possible with it as it's going down. And that's why, Joe and his shows are important, and others, to really focus on your relationship with God, because right now that is the only true source of, like, I can say that regardless of what's going on in the world, my relationship with God keeps me grounded, keeps me centered, keeps me out of fear, keeps me, my relationships with my family, my neighbors, that kind of stuff are different now because of that. I have a higher tolerance for other beliefs. If people just seem off the wall, cuckoo, whatever, and they could care less about what I'm doing, I don't care. That's them. Good for them. Enjoy your life. I'm not going to, I'm not going to judge them for that. I'm just, I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be witness to what's happening right now.
Yes.
And
oh yeah. It's so important, man. I think you made an important point, man. It's, because the reason why it's so important that we have that relationship with God is so God can show you who you are. Only God can really reveal to you who you are. Why? Because he is our source. We all came from God. Every human being was he blew into every human being life. He's the one that gave every human being life. We all came from God. Of course, we have some people who, are a bit out there and may have turned their lives over to the enemy, to the cabal, to the devil, and have become children of the devil, instead of children of God, but your source is God. We all came from God, it's like the best part, the most important part of our relationship with God is allowing him to show us and reveal to us who we are, because the enemy does not want you to know who you really are. And that's what the devil does. I mean, he keeps you blinded from who you really are. Once you know who you are, he can't control you no more. He has no power over you.
Yes, Kyle, that's absolutely true. Thanks for loving our message.
Yes, thanks for watching, Kyle. Appreciate you.
Kimberly said her neighbor lady thinks I'm crazy. And then she says she also voted for Biden.
Oh.
I think they would have you believe that a lot of people voted for Biden.
That's a part of Project Bluebeam. The deception. Those numbers were holograms.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the 24th, the results of the stuff in Arizona is supposed to drop.
Really?
Yes,
we've been waiting for that. Well, I've been wondering what's going on with that. I mean, it's been turned into Congress and everything. I mean,
well, that's supposed to drop on the 24th. So I want people to understand that stuff can get a little crazy around that time. I don't
4 days away.
I don't know what's going to happen, because there's a lot of things going on a lot of fronts, and I just want people to be prepared mentally that
that's Friday.
Yeah. So just, be aware that that's happening. And you also have 45's rally on Saturday, the day after. I don't think that's a coincidence. And but again, this platform is really not for that. So I'm not going to get too deep into that, because I want to have at least one YouTube channel I can talk on.
Right. Exactly. That is true.
But man, it's been a good show. I like this topic. And I think it's pertinent for what's going on right now. And both biblically speaking and both NWO speaking and everything else. It's just, we always say this: focus on Jesus, don't focus on the storm.
That's it.
If you focus on the storm, you're anxious, you're going to be nervous, you're going to be wondering what's happening next, you're going to be, your stomach's going to be upset, your life's going to be a little different, and it's that's no way to live. Don't, be happy, don't focus on the storm.
Right. So true.
So you've got a show tonight, don't you, Joe?
Yep. At 7:30, but you know what? I may just hop right on as soon as we get off of here.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about a little bit what we talked about in this show as well. To kind of drag it over. And so if you guys are free, go over to you search Joe Dingle on YouTube, and then my page will come up. Joe Dingle and the Kingdom Government channel. But if you search Joe Dingle, you'll see the channel come up. It'll just be my name on there. We're gonna continue to talk about God's kingdom culture. We're going to talk about culture, God's culture tonight. So we're going to talk about colonization, how God's ultimate plan is to colonize earth with heaven through his children. And that's a whole nother thing. It's very obvious that God's whole plan was never about a religion, establishing a religion, but it's about establishing a royal kingdom, a royal family, where his offspring. And, he told us to be fruitful and multiply, and have dominion on the earth. And that word dominion means kingdom. It means, to have rulership on the earth, and to make earth and this whole natural realm like heaven, and so we're going to talk specifics about that. And so come on over, we're going to dig in the Bible a little bit, We're going to talk about some extra biblical things and, and go from there. Yep. God's kingdom on earth.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, you guys have been awesome. Thank you for watching and participating. We really encourage people to participate in the chat. It really helps the show to spark conversation and to get other people knowing who's on the show too, and that there's like-minded people participating. And so God bless you guys for being on. And Kyle, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Kyle. Love and light to you as well, Kyle.
So Joe, my friend, another good show.
Yes, this was really good.
Thanks for being on, and as always, love hosting with you.
Yes, same here, man. Same here.
Donnie, thank you. Love you too.
Yes, love you too, Donnie.
So, God bless all of you. Thanks for coming on. In the comments in the video, you'll see, or the comments in the video, you'll see links to Joe's channel, his YouTube. You'll see links to his Telegram. You'll see links to the show. So don't be afraid to drop us a line if you have any ideas for shows or anything. Just by all means,
Yes.
So it's going to be an awesome evening, and I know you've got a show coming up here, which is going to be great.
Yeah.
And let's see,
Johnny, I was going to say too, we got to do a night where I can get you over on my channel as well, man.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Maybe we'll do that. Set that up on one Monday night where we can do this of course show at 6, and then we can have you come on my channel with me and talk about something about God, about the kingdom, and about what's going on in this world. So yeah, we'll talk about that off air. We'll schedule that, put that together.
Okay, sounds good. All right, all of you, thanks for hopping on. Don't forget to subscribe and share the video, and visit Joe's channel, and we'll move along into this little this I want to call political lull here. It's a nice little calm before the storm, so we'll enjoy that for a couple days here,
right?
And move back to Telegram for a couple days, and then see what happens on Friday.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what happens on Friday.
So be safe, everybody. Like I said, just know that there's a possibility that some weird stuff can happen, but don't be afraid. So is what it is. All right, guys. Love you all. And let's see. Thanks, Donnie.
Yes, thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good evening. God bless you all. And see you next time.
Yes, yes.